Hello everyone. Today, I'm diving into David Haller from Legion, this incredible FX series that's part superhero tale, part mind-bending psychological drama. David is a young guy who's been in and out of psychiatric hospitals, labeled schizophrenic because he hears voices and sees things that aren't there, or so he's told. The show starts off psychiatric hospital, where he's drugged, confused, and just trying to survive. And boom, everything flips. He learns he's not sick. He's a telepathic mutant. But here's the twist. This creepy psychic parasite has been hiding in his mind since childhood, warping his reality. That's where his existential dread comes in, haunting fear about who really is, what's real, and whether he's even in control of himself. It's wild. It's unsettling. Okay, before we get started, I just want to set the scene a little. This presentation is all about digging into the mind-body problem, those big tricky questions about how our thoughts or feeling connects to our physical self. I'm pulling from chapter 2 of our textbook, where we've got these wild theories like substance dualism and identity theory, and I'm applying them to a character who's, well, a total head trip. I picked David Haller from Legion because his story is this perfect storm of mental chaos and mutant powers. It's like the show was made for this assignment. So, bear with me as we explore his existential dread and see how this series makes sense of it. Alright, let's dive in. Let's start with substance dualism, a theory that says the mind and body are totally separate entities, like oil and water. They don't mix. The mind is this non-physical thing, maybe a soul, while the body just flesh and blood. For David, his existential dread fits this idea so well. His mutant powers like telekinesis or bending reality feel like they come from something beyond his physical brain, right? Then there's this parasite, this malevolent force that's been squatting his head for years. It's not a tumor or a virus. It's like a separate consciousness, something intangible, making him question if his thoughts, his actions are even his own, wondering if he's just a vessel for this parasite. It's like his mind is in a battlefield. Substance dualism gives us a lens to see that split in a really compelling way. Substance dualism gets even clearer when we look at Legion's wild moments. Take the astral plane scenes. There's this one in season 1 where David's body is laying down, but his mind, it's wide awake, duking it out with the parasite in this bizarre dreamlike space. It's not like his brain just buzzing. He's active in a way his physical state can't explain. That's where his existential dread explodes. If his mind can be hijacked by something like the parasite, this non-physical entity, then who is he really? Is he just a puppet? That uncertainty, that fear of losing his essence, is what makes this theory click for David. His mind feels like its own thing, driving that haunting question of control. Now, let's switch gears to identity theory. This one's pretty straightforward. It says emotions like dread, they're just brain states, no separate mind, no mystical stuff, just neurons doing their job. For David, this could mean his existential dread is all physical. Maybe his mutant brain wired differently, firing it off in ways ours don't. His powers like telekinesis, reality shifts, might be some rare neural patterns. And the parasite could be a glitch, like a foreign signal scrambling his circuits. So, his dread isn't this big cosmic mystery. It's his brain freaking out, trying to process a reality that's been messed with since he was a kid. It's a simpler take. All the fear, all the questioning just boils down to what's sparking inside his skull. Identity theory gets some legs when we look at how Legion treats David's situation. At the hospital, they're pumping him full of meds, assuming his voices and visions are brain based, a chemical imbalance they can fix. Then, the mutant crew scans him, poking around for a physical clue to his powers and the parasite presence. His threat spikes with physical triggers, like when he's stressed, his powers flare up, objects fly, reality bends. If it's all just neural chaos, his fear of losing himself could be his brain reacting to its own weirdness, not some deeper, non physical soul crying it out. Okay, I'm making my case for substance dualism. Here's why it nails David's story. Think about this. If his mind can fight on an astral plane while his body is knocked out, that's not just brain activity. It's something separate, something more. His existential threat comes from this non-physical parasite screwing with his reality, not a chemical imbalance that you can medicate away. So, logically, a theory that splits mind and body fits better than the one fitting it all in his brain. His mind feels like its own entity, driving that fear of losing control in a way identity theory can't fully grasp. Let's dig deeper into why substance dualism works. David's threat isn't just a physical twitch, it's about his questions. Who am I? What's real? That's not just neurons buzzing, it's a soul level crisis, something identity theory can stretch to cover. The parasite isn't just a tumor you can spot on an MRI, it's a presence, a non physical force hijacking his mind. Dualism frames his story as this epic tug of war between mind and body, which feels so right for Legion's wild existential vibe. Identity theory keeps it too small, too mechanical. David's pain, his fear, is bigger than that. It's about a mind fighting to be free, and that's why I'm sold on dualism.